For the next 30 minutes, you will see a demonstration of science television, an exciting advance in the use of communications technology to enhance science education in schools throughout the nation. Science Television is a production of the Orange County Marine Institute in Dana Point, California. The Marine Institute is a learning laboratory where new concepts and technologies for teaching in the 21st century are tested, refined, and disseminated. Science Television is an extension of the Marine Institute's work with the Jason Project, a pioneering program hosted by Woods Hole oceanographer Dr. Robert Ballard. Jason uses satellite communications technology to take students on electronic field trips to places of scientific interest around the world. Science Television uses local cable providers and microwave technology to provide an interactive educational experience directly to the community. You are about to observe a group of 5th grade students on a science expedition to the Orange County Marine Institute. The images you will see were broadcast live to 3rd and 4th grade students into classrooms at their home school. Let's listen in as the expedition gets underway.
Hello, my name is Nathan, and this is Holly. We will be your hosts for this broadcast of Science Television.
Today, the 5th grade classes from RH Dana School in Dana Point are on a research expedition. Nathan and I are here in the broadcast control room.
That's right. We're at the Orange County Marine Institute in Dana Point Harbor, and we're using television to take you along with our teams of scientists to learn about the ocean. We're going to be sending you data and information as we go, and we hope you'll share some of your ideas and questions with us.
We'll visit each of the science research team twice. The first visit will be to introduce you to the activity. During the second visit, you will be helping us to make specific observations and record data in your field data logs.
Let's not waste any time. We have 6 teams of scientists out right now. The first team we'll visit is in the laboratory. They're looking at fish to determine what they eat.
Does that mean they have to dissect the fish to look inside its stomach?
I don't know. Let's go see.
Hi, my name is George Delgado, and this is Victor Chavez. We will be your hosts.
Each of the 6 teams of students in the field has been issued a challenge and asked to respond using scientific methods. Students observing the broadcast have been issued the same challenge. Together, students in the field and in the classroom will be making observations and collecting data. The team in the laboratory is to determine what a particular fish eats. They begin by describing the tools they will use during their examination.
This is the tool that we're going to use to open the fish. These are scissors. These are tweezers. Este es el pez que vamos a abrir, y estas son las...
This class is composed of students for whom English is a second language. These students have a good mastery of English, while the 3rd and 4th graders are more comfortable in Spanish. The students in the lab, therefore, speak first in English and then in Spanish.
This is the inside, outside of the fish. We think that this fish is the fastest swimmer. What do you think? Buenas tardes, mi nombre es Jesús. Pensamos, este pescado es el que vamos a abrir. Esta es la parte de afuera. Pensamos que este pescado es el que corre más, el que nada más rápido. ¿Qué piensan ustedes?
On your book, page 2, you can check off the shark that matches his mouth. What do you think he eats? How can we find out? En tu página 2 puedes ver que hay un pescado que se parece a ese, y tú qué piensas que come y cómo podemos saber.
We're on the dock in Dana Point Harbor. We are investigating the water in the harbor. Our job is to use the information that we record to determine which of these
Each of the 6 teams is visited in turn. They introduce their challenge and display the tools they will use to respond. We'll take a look at other teams later, but right now, Let's rejoin the lab team.
Este es el pescado que vamos a cortar ahorita. Y vamos a ver lo que tiene adentro el pescado. This is the fish we're gonna cut. We're gonna see what is inside of this fish. We see, what do you see here? We see hard, I think it has a lot of blood. We see like little fingers, and we see the stomach big. And we see the thing, the tube, and it goes around all the fish. Now we're gonna pass to Sandra.
Do you guess what the fish eats? We think that the fish eats small fish. Let's now open the stomach.
The students have examined their fish and determined that it is a fast swimmer. They have also compared the mouth to mouths of other fish, noting the sharp teeth. Their challenge is to determine what the fish eats. They have formed a hypothesis and now seek evidence to support it.
We see a lot of tuna in here. And we see the whole fish, we can see it. And the eyes. Here's the tail, here's the head. Smash.
Do you think this fish had a lot to eat?
What?
Look at how much food this fish ate.
Look how much this fish eats.
Isn't that exciting?
Yeah.
Was your hypothesis correct? Nice work, team. Now we're off to the dock and the oceanography team.
Hi, my name is Braden, and this is Nicole. We will be your host for the investigations in physical oceanography. We're here with the students from Miss Bungard's class.
We're on a dock in Dana Point Harbor. We are investigating the water in the harbor. Our job is to use the information that we record to determine which of these fish live in the harbor. We will be measuring different physical characteristics of the water. These measurements will help us understand how living things survive in their environment.
We will ask some of our friends on the team to describe the things we will be measuring and the equipment that we will be using. Turn to page 3 in your field study log to check off any things that you see.
Hi, this is a Secchi disc. It is used to measure how far down you can see in the ocean.
Hi, this is a thermometer. It measures how hot or cold the water is in Celsius.
Hi, this is a lead line. It measures how deep the ocean is.
Hi, this is a pH testing kit. It measures how much acid is in the water.
Hi, this is a hydrometer. It measures how much salt is in the ocean water.
When we return, you will be collecting data on temperature and salinity. See you later.
Hi.
It's remarkable to realize that these students arrived at the Institute less than 30 minutes ago. With one or two exceptions, they did not know they would be speaking on television. There are cue cards available, but much of the dialogue is ad-libbed. The goal of science television is not a rehearsed and polished show. The goal is to use television to communicate events in real time, from a small group of students in the field to their younger classmates back at school. Let's return to the dock team, which is studying the physical characteristics of the water in Dana Point Harbor. Their challenge is to determine what fish would live in the harbor. They've learned about several fish and the type of water these fish prefer. They will now ask their classmates watching to assist with the measurements.
Hydrometer and write down your observations.
Here you see another innovation of science television, the observation sequence. It would be easy to simply make the measurements ahead of time and tell the students the water temperature. Instead, science television asked the students watching to take their own measurements. In this exercise, students take the average of 2 measurements to improve accuracy, an important feature of good scientific methodology. This engages the viewer actively, and the camera becomes an extension of the student's eyes and ears. Science television can take students to places where expense or physical limitations prevent their being able to have an experience firsthand.
Hi, my name is Justin, and this is Jamie.
Next, we go to the animal observation team at the touch tank. Their challenge is to observe these animals carefully and then pose questions. Note that the students handling the animals talk about how the animal feels, while letting the students viewing make their own observations about shape and color.
Touch tank where many small animals and fish are kept.
It's like strong in the center, and then bottom side feels bumpy, and the front side and the back side feel hard.
Its tentacles are real squishy, and on the little suction cups under the tentacles, they're real sticky. And this back part where it sticks onto the glass, it's real smushy and soft like, and it's real squishable, and back here that's where it sticks within.
After students in their classrooms have an opportunity to communicate their questions by phone and computer modem, the broadcast returns to the touch tank. Listen as they receive their answers.
Jade from Mrs. Seach's class asked us why didn't we pick up the sea anemone?
The reason why we didn't want to pick up the sea anemone was because it's kind of attached to the surface of this plastic of the tank, and another reason why we didn't want to, when we take it out, it closes up and we can't observe it. Trenton from Mrs. Barnett's class wants to know, how long do horned sharks grow?
Horned sharks grow about 3.5 feet to 4 feet long.
Brittany from Mrs. Barnes' class wants to know, how long does it take the sea cucumber to grow back its organs after it throws them up?
Well, Brittany, that's a very good question. It takes about 10 weeks for a sea cucumber to grow back its guts after it threw them up.
5 of the 6 student teams are concerned with marine organisms or oceanography. One team, however, takes advantage of a unique geologic site adjacent to the Institute.
We are here to measure the angle of some ancient rocks made of the ocean sediments that were deposited on the seafloor about 10 million years ago. Scientists think this formation was an underwater landslide.
Hi, my name is Tyler and this is Megan. We will be your hosts for the geology observations. I'm here with students from Miss Bungard's class and Mrs. Barnes' class.
Measuring is a form of observing. Observations made by measurement are usually more precise than other methods.
In our science classes, we have studied how rocks are formed when sediments are deposited layer on layer. Originally, these rocks lay flat on the seafloor, but the earthquakes and other forces pushed them up and folded them.
We'll show you how that might happen.
Hi, my name is Tej and this is Jason. These pieces of clay represent layers in the sediment.
This is what happens when two plates collide.
On page 5 of your field data logs, you'll see some of the tools we use to study rocks. Check them off as we show them to you.
2 of the teams are aboard the Marine Institute's research vessel, Sea Explorer, anchored just offshore. The signals are carried from ship to shore via microwave.
Hi, my name is Sarah and this is Robert. We will be your host for the animal probe. We are on board the RV Sea Explorer at our offshore sampling site.
When we arrive, our job will be to set otter trawl nets to sample the animal population on the ocean floor. Once we receive the net, we will try to determine the natural history of the animals we catch.
What's natural history, Robert?
Natural history describes an animal's lifestyle, what it eats, and other dangers it faces, where it lives and how it lives, like does it move around a lot or stay in one place.
Okay, let's show the students on the support teams the net and how it works. You'll need to turn to page 2 in your field data log and check off the equipment as we show it to you.
Hi, Diana. Could you please tell us a little about the otter trawl net?
The otter trawl net is designed to skim along the surface of muddy bottoms and collect animals with names like lizardfish and scorpionfish. The net is shaped like a funnel with a tickler's chain at the lower tip of the opening. The tickler chain steers up the lower tip of the opening. The tickler chain steers up the muddy bottom and forces the fish into the opening. The fish swims through the net towards the cod end, which is tied off to keep them from escaping.
Thank you, Diana. David, what do you think you will catch in the otter trawl net?
Some fish and the newlands are 25 feet long. You use them to pull them so you can open the mouth to catch fish, and don't get it tangled that much, because if you do, then it'll get you won't catch any fish and you'll lose it.
Thank you, David. Brian, could you please tell us about the otter trawl doors?
This team of students will help the Marine Institute staff technicians release the otter trawl net. A typical catch brings in a dozen or so fish species and several invertebrates. The students are challenged to speculate as to the natural history of the animal from observations of its body shape and coloration. A classic discussion of form deriving from function.
They plow through the muddy bottom. The design of the doors also help spread apart the net's opening so it does not collapse onto itself.
Thank you. Now we are going to drop the otter trawl. Who do I talk to? What do I say? You're going to interview her next. Anna, could you please tell us about the winch?
The lead lines are attached to cable that is coiled on this switch. The winch is powered by hydraulics and can pull in objects that weigh over 2,000 pounds. Once the net is set into the water behind RV Sea Explorer, the winch feeds out the cable, slowly lowering the net down to the muddy bottom 180 feet. Since the boat is moving forward as the net is lowered, over 540 feet of cable will be used to sink the net to the bottom.
Thank you, Diana. We'll be back to you a little later. Right now, we're going up to the pilot house to see how the navigation team is doing. Matt, are you there?
Hi, I sure am. I'm up here on the second deck, near the pilot house, where students from Miss Meyer's class are helping the captain navigate the ship. 3 of the technicians with me will take you on a tour. Turn to page 1 in your field data log, and let's follow them.
Hi, this is the fathometer, and it's used to measure how deep the water is. It throws sound waves down to the bottom of the ocean, and the longer it takes the sound waves to get back up, the deeper the water is. And it's also called a fish finder by fishermen, because you can see fish on it too.
Okay, thank you, Parker. This is Kenny.
Hi, my name is Kenny, and I'm introducing the GPS, and it tells you where we're going, and if it's a foggy day, like it's not today, it tells you where you are.
That's it for now. We will be coming back to us in a few minutes for your first observations. If you're on the animal probe team, get up close to your monitor so you can see clearly.
Before the members of the navigation support team begin their observations, we're going to show you how the video signals are being brought to your classroom.
Students in Miss Malat's class are working on the production of this broadcast right now. We'll talk with Daniel, who will explain how it happens.
4 of the exploration teams are nearby, and there are wires going to the video cameras taking their picture. The navigation and animal probe teams are on the Sea Explorer out there, so we can't run wires to them. Instead, we use a microwave radio signal. The signal is sent from the boat to the antenna you see behind me. Now we're going to show you what happens to all the signals from all the cameras recording our field explorations.
Hi, I'm WJ, and I'm the director on today's Orange County Marine Institute's Science TV broadcast. Here we are at Science TV's Video Control, where we make decisions as to what pictures you see. All the signals from the different cameras at the different stations are received here. So for instance, if I'd like Cree, my technical director, to show you the Science TV logo, he can do that. Or if we want to show you the touch tank, Cree can also show you that. We have over 30 technicians working today to bring you this broadcast. So let's go back to dockside and continue.
Hi, it's me again. Once the signal is selected, it is sent by microwave to the Dimension Cable Television in San Juan Capistrano, and they broadcast it to you. Now back to you in the studio.
I hope you understood all that. If you have any questions, now is a good time to write them down. The Animal Observation Support Team should have their questions ready to go. We have technicians standing by telephones and can help you with answers. Here's a number if you want to call.
Now it's time for you to do your part. We're going to begin by going back out on the RV Sea Explorer with the Animal Probe Team. The Navigation Support Team should be standing by because you're next. Here we go.
Hi. Well, our nets were set, and we've come up with quite a catch. We're going to show you some of the fish that came up in the net, and ask that you to make some observations on one of them to help us determine its natural history. Please turn to page 4 in your field data log.
Now, let's switch over to the navigation team so we can plot the position of the RV Sea Explorer.
Your first challenge is to determine our position from the latitude and longitude. Here is a close-up view of the GPS. Write down the numbers you see on the screen on page 1 of your field data log.
Next, you're going to observe the sea conditions. We'll plan the camera over the ocean while you make the observations. Use the back of your field data guide to write on.
Our time is almost up. I hope you have enjoyed coming along on our science expedition to Orange County Marine Institute in Dana Point Harbor.
And we hope you've learned something too. Remember, science is an active process, not just a collection of facts and information. You have to think, you have to observe, you have to communicate with other people. Science is doing, and by doing science, you learn about the world you live in.
Me, Nathan, and Holly will see you in school. Bye.
Science Television is an experimental program. As you've seen, teams of students from area schools join Marine Institute scientists in the laboratory and aboard a research vessel. Images from these trips are carried by a local cable provider back to the schools from which the students came, and where their younger classmates are able to follow the activities live on school monitors. The students make observations and collect data directly from the screen, and use the telephone and modem hookups to ask questions and communicate their ideas to the teams in the field. The Orange County Marine Institute is committed to education and is a nationally recognized learning laboratory for the creation and development of new ideas and technologies to teach students of all ages about science, the ocean, and our historic relationship to the sea. Those ideas which are proven effective are then disseminated throughout the country, extending the Institute's reach far beyond Dana Point Harbor. The Institute has achieved national recognition for its creativity and effectiveness. For more information about Science Television or other programs of the Orange County Marine Institute, write Orange County Marine Institute, 24200 Dana Point Harbor Drive, Dana Point, California, 92629. The Orange County Marine Institute is self-supporting and relies on fees, tuition, and retail sales to meet expenses.